This is how to alchemize energy. I'm going to teach you how to transmute absolutely anything instead of absorbing it. So any energy that is thrown your way, so gossip, negativity from other people, jealousy, envy, you can take all of that, you can mold it, and you can form it, and you can use it as fuel for your own desire, for your own power, for anything you want. You can also take any emotion that you feel within your body, sadness, anger, depression, unmotivation. You can take anything that has happened to you in the past, any bad memory, any bad situation, any trauma, and you can use that to get whatever you want. So I'm going to teach you how today, and I'm going to give you a strategy and a formula and everything. You guys have been wanting this video for a while, and here we are. I'm excited to talk about this topic because I feel so strongly about it, and I also think it's so important and so powerful to really, really become the alchemist of your own life. Seriously, like your life will change. And I'm going to give you the exact steps, the exact formula, the exact strategy on how to do it, and also a cheat code using the law of polarity from the works, from the teachings of the kybalion. And then I'm also going to give you exercises and practices to like actually set this into motion, and not to just listen to me talking and watching this video, or listening to me on the podcast if you're listening to me there, and just taking the information in and not actually acting on it. Because like the law of polarity, feminine energy, creation, but also masculine energy of taking action. So let's get into it. First, what is energy? I want you guys to understand this before we really get into it. Energy is neutral. It's basically like the raw current behind every thought, behind every breath, behind every perception, behind every projection. Energy is the building blocks of existence, right? Everything is energy. Literally everything is energy, and physics proves it. E equals mc squared. Energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. What this means in simple language is that matter, literally everything you're looking at, you, everything that's matter is just energy condensed. So your body, your emotions, your reality, your thoughts, the chair that you're sitting on, the device you're using to listen to me, to watch me on, all of this is energy slowed down into form. So when you feel an emotion, you're not just having a mood, right? You're holding raw fuel. You're holding raw, moldable energy. Emotion is just energy in motion. And this is also why I like preach all the time how emotions are so stinking powerful. So powerful. I used to literally, when growing up as a kid, I hated how much I felt. I hated how much I felt because I felt everything so strongly. And that was something that I hated about myself, until I realized that that was actually my superpower. Emotion is your superpower. It's the number one medium to your subconscious mind, and it's everything. And it's also so easy to be an alchemist when you can control and mold your own emotion, your energy. So listen, energy neutral until you give it direction, right? You can mold it with your hands. Think of it as literally clay. It's electricity waiting for a circuit. If matter itself can shift forms, right? Like liquid into solid, so can your fear, your sadness, your jealousy, your passion. This is why alchemy is real. You are not creating something out of nothing. You're redirecting something that already exists. The same way a scientist converts energy into matter and back. Your emotions are energy in motion, and you decide what you do with it next. You are the alchemist of your own life. And this is why you don't need to fear your emotions or outside energy. You don't have to absorb it. You don't have to let it affect you. You don't have to return back to sender. You don't have to mirror it back. You can use it. You can transmute it. Anything is usable. And listen, every emotion you feel becomes a fuel into the next thing. For example, like if you're angry, you can use that anger and you can make a war with it. You can start an argument. You can literally fight someone with it. You can use anger into so many negative things. That's transmutation. But you can also take anger and use it as passion and use it as fuel. You can turn it into creation, power, beauty, money, clarity. That is the power of alchemy. And before we get into the step-by-step strategy, let me just give you a cheat code, because understanding this is going to help you understand alchemy as a whole, and also kind of give you like literally the cheat code on transmuting certain emotions into certain emotions, like an easy way. When I first learned about this, I was literally like, that makes sense. And if you haven't read the kybalion yet, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but if you haven't read the kybalion yet, I highly recommend you read that. One of the laws is the law of polarity. So what is the law of polarity? The law of polarity essentially states that everything is dual. and everything has a pair of opposites, okay? And opposites are always identical in nature, but different in degree. So what do I mean by this? I mean like and unlike are the same thing. I mean cold and hot. I mean feminine and masculine. I mean love and hate. I mean fear and courage. When you think about it like this, cold and hot are the same thing. They're both temperature, right? Like think of a thermostat. You have cold and you have hot. You're the alchemist and you can turn it into whichever like degree you want to turn it to. So for example, like literally like 10 degrees. That is so cold. That is like an extreme, right? But you can also turn it up to like 90, 100 degrees. That's another pole, another degree of temperature. Hot and cold are the same thing. Opposites are the same thing, just at a different degree. You are the alchemist that can control what degree you put a certain thing or emotion on. Fear and courage are the same adrenaline, only at different points of the scale. Love and hate is the same emotion, just at different points of the scale. Two opposite extremes. Everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has opposites. And when you understand this, you stop trying to fight your emotions and completely let go of them, but you start sliding them. You start moving them like a thermostat, like a switch, like a dimmer switch of light. Transmutation is not about destroying energy. It's about moving it, taking it, forming it, and using that degree of temperature and turning it into something else. And listen, in transmutation, when you turn a certain emotion, I want you to think about, which is going to be part of the steps in the strategy, but you think about the exact opposite. Let's just use this for example. You hate something so much. You're going to ask yourself, what's the opposite of that on the same spectrum? Love. And now that is what you're going to have to focus on. That is what you are going to be alchemizing into. And this is the cheat code because it works so much easier using this law because it's literally the law of the universe. And I want you to think too, like negative and positive, right? You can't be negative and you can't be positive at the same time. So you have to choose which one are you going to be. This also like falls in the law of polarity, falls into literally like manifestation and creating your reality, right? Like your thoughts, your perceptions, your feelings create your reality. So you need to become the observer of them in order to switch them. Instead of the negative, you look at the positive and then you see the positive from everything, that kind of thing. But we can get way deeper into that in another video. Now, some examples of the law of polarity in terms of like emotion and alchemizing that is like jealousy into inspiration. So instead of seeing someone, you know, pop up on your TikTok or your Instagram page or whatever, and you're like, I'm so jealous, like they have the body that I want, like they have the skin that I want, like they have the life that I want, they have the husband that I want, and just feeling that jealousy within you, feeling that envy, just being like, like sitting in that like energy, right? You're sitting in that energy and you're absorbing that energy from what you just saw. Instead of doing that, you can use that energy, that jealousy as inspiration. So it's the same kind of like comparison energy. It's the same energy field, but it's shifted into proof that what you want exists, that what you want is possible. You use it as inspiration and courage, and you're like, oh my God, like that girl is so hot. Like she has great skin. Let me see if she has like a skincare routine. And then maybe that's your inspiration. That is the thing that's like, oh my God, now my skin is amazing. Because you get the tips from her, you get the inspiration from her, instead of being like, oh, like I'm sure she literally like has gotten so much work done at a med spa or whatever. You like actually listen and take the inspiration instead of diving into that jealousy. You can turn anger into devotion, the same fire, the same passion, but pointed toward protection and purpose and action. Another tip I just want to throw in quickly is the whole anger to devotion to passion to motivation type of thing. It's a very, very good idea to look at your own birth chart in terms of astrology wise and see your Mars sign, because that is going to tell you like your motivation in life. But listen, Mars too is also the planet of war. So I just want you to think about that. Like Mars is the planet of war, but it's also the planet of motivation and action and passion and drive. It gets you up in the morning. It's what gets you out of bed. It's what makes you live your life and do the things that you're so passionate about. But it's also the planet of war. It's also the planet of like, you know, so you can choose the opposite sides of the spectrum, just like Mars. So when you think of that, look at your Mars sign. You can also turn shame into responsibility. So the same self-focus, but shifted into ownership and the next clean step. You can turn sadness into clarity, the same sensitivity shifted into truth seeing, anxiety into readiness, into excitement, the same adrenaline relabeled in the body as preparation, scarcity into stewardship, the same awareness of lack, scarcity into abundance. Okay, now let's get into the formula step by step. So we are neutralizing the energy, right, to begin with. So step number 1 is awareness. You can't shift what you don't see. You have to be conscious about what energy you were holding, what emotion you were holding heavy in your heart. You can't change any energy that you're not aware of. So pause for a second, sit down. Meditation helps beautifully with this and with literally all these steps. So if you need like guidance in any way, I did make you guys an alchemy meditation that you can use over and over and over again. This is a meditation that will literally last you a lifetime and will just kind of like be there in your pocket and help you with all this alchemy. You can totally do it without the meditation, but I did just want to make something to make it easier for you guys. And you guys loved my last meditation that I did that had alchemy in it for the last moon cycle that I included with, like the workbook meditation type of monthly thing. So I decided to make an alchemy meditation for you guys to literally always have. And that is linked in my bio and on my website, alexigigi.com. But awareness. So pause. Take a second, relax, take some deep breaths, do the box breathing method. I love to do this because it will really like anchor you within your body. So you breathe in, so you want like visualize kind of like a box. You want to breathe in for 4 seconds, going up on the box, and then I want you to hold for 4 seconds, going on the top of the box, and then releasing for 4 seconds, and then holding for 4 seconds. Breathing in, holding, releasing, breathing in, like the box acid. I like to do that like 4 times. And I want you to ask yourself, what are you feeling right now? What are you holding on to right now? So name the emotion. Is it fear? Is it doubt? Is it sadness? Is it anger? Is it shame? Is it betrayal? Is it your emotion, or was it somebody else's emotion that they enforce onto you? Once you name it, you are no longer a victim to it. You are no longer a part of it. Which brings us to step number 2, detachment. Detaching yourself from this emotion. You are not the emotion. You must become the observer of the emotion. Say to yourself, I feel fear. Yes, I feel fear right now, but I am not fear. I feel sadness, yes, but I am not sadness. Step number 3 is permission. Permission to feel it all. Feel it all. I don't want you to hold anything in. Observe the emotion, point it out, name it, detach. Don't hold on to it. Don't let it sink deep beneath you and let it transform and alchemize into stagnant energy. Don't bypass it or fake positivity. If grief is there, mourn it. If anger is there, feel the anger. Sit with it. Be like, okay, I feel angry. Like this is what I feel right now. Let me feel it. Let me feel it for a second. Notice the heat in your hands. Notice how your body feels, how you physically feel. Notice where you feel it in your body. Emotions are energy in motion, right? They move once they are felt. Allow yourself to feel it. Allow it to be without associating yourself with it. If you are mourning someone, let yourself mourn. A trauma you don't want to think about it. Feel it. A pain you don't want to deal with, feel it. You feel it so it can move. And then we change it. And then we mold it with our hands. This is where the alchemy comes in. So you can have 2 ways of doing this, right? You can get out your journal and you can write down that specific emotion, the energy, right? And I want you to choose the opposite pole, utilizing the law of polarity. So hate into love, fear into courage, fear into strength, anger into fire, into fuel, into motivation, jealousy into proof, sadness into clarity. I highly recommend you use the law of polarity for this. And if you do want something specific, I want you to ask yourself, what do I want right now? What do I desire and what do I want to create? The best way to transmute energy and to use alchemy is by using it to create something in a creative way, whether this be a new reality for yourself, whether this be a new project, whether this be an art project, whether it be whatever it is, creation energy. So ask yourself, what energy do you want this to become? What do you want? Name that. Now, number 5 is you are going to write this story. You are going to rewrite the energy. This is where rewriting your subconscious brain comes in. This is where you shift from a receiver to a deliberate creator. You are the alchemist. You are the alchemist. Every thought, every emotion, every circumstance is raw material waiting for you to transform it. So now, next step is you shift the narrative. So instead of seeing fear as a block, you see it as an indicator of where you need to go. Changing the narrative allows you to take these lessons and extract them and redirect them into becoming a better version of you. Now, next step is to move this energy through creation. The fastest way to transmute, Law of Polarity, and to create. So you can use it to write, to paint, to sing, to dance in your bedroom and literally dance your heart out, sing your heart out. You can use it to create a song, to create a painting, to create something beautiful, even if it's just like writing. That's why really, really amazing artists, they usually come from a story of pain. They've usually gone through something and they take that pain and they alchemize it into their creations. They turn it into form, they turn it into beauty, they turn it into power. Now the next step is moving your body, okay? Move your body. You can do Pilates, you can do yoga, you can do stretching, you can do boxing, whatever it is that you like to do. I want you to actually move your body. You can do some somatic shaking as well. I love to do this to move the energy. Plant your feet on the ground, barefoot. It's great to do this right outside, like on the grass. Plant your feet, start moving your hips side to side, moving them in a circle. Your hips, creation energy. Listen, energy sits in your muscle and your fascia. So shake, flow, move through yoga. If you don't move your body like daily, your energy gets pent up and gets stuck in your body. Now, one of the last steps is once you have done all of this, right? You've got everything moving and flowing and you're alchemizing and you're transmuting it. I want you to create an affirmation from it. Create an affirmation using the exact opposite of that pole of that energy you were trying to transmute. So create that affirmation, and now you're going to say that affirmation in the morning and at night when you wake up and when you go to bed at night for at least 30 days. Now, the last thing I want you guys to do is I want you to do a little meditation to transmute this energy and to visualize it, a visualization meditation. Obviously, you guys can use my meditation, but I'm going to take you through the steps if you want to do it yourself too, because obviously. So you're going to sit down, you're going to do the box breathing method, okay? And first, you are going to visualize like a pure white, like warm light surrounding and encompassing your body. Now, I want you to visualize inside your body, like wherever you feel that energy, the past energy, so wherever you feel that fear, I want you to feel that within your body. I want you to pinpoint it, right? Like what we did, do this in meditation when we're sitting. I want you to feel it. So maybe it's in your heart, right? Maybe it's in your heart. So I want you to feel it right there. And then when you're closing your eyes, I want you to visualize kind of like a circle of darkness. And I want you to form that fear into an object as this circle of darkness. So you see that in your heart. Right there, okay? You see it, you visualize it. Make sure you can visualize it and you can feel it in your heart. You can even touch your hand to that body part. I want you to see it in your mind's eye. And then, once you're visualizing this white glowing light surrounding your body, I want you to then visualize it literally seeping through your pores, going in through your mouth, your nose, your eyes, your ears, seeping in through your pores and clearing out anything. And I want you to visualize that white light taking that like dark circle, taking it, bringing it up and pushing it out, and then literally I want you to visualize that darkness coming out of your mouth, and then I want you to see it right in front of you. It's no longer a part of you. Now, I want you, still visualizing in your mind's eye, to take this object, this form, right, this energy, take it into your hands, and I want you to start molding it as clay. I want you to feel it within your hands, like feel it in your hands, start molding it and form it into a prettier object. Start like going like this, wiping it off, and then see as it transforms into a color, like from hate into love, like pink, right? And transform it into a heart of love. And then see that within your mind's eye. Feel that energy. See yourself literally transmuting it and molding it as clay. And then you can like feed it back to the white light and then see the white light bringing it back into your heart and going back into your heart. And there you have it. You just alchemized and you transmuted all of that energy. So that was the exact strategy you can do every single time when you have something you want to transmute. Now let me give you little exercises on the side. Okay, so the first exercise is the polarity journal, which we kind of talked about obviously in the strategy. But if you want to get like deeper into it and utilize feminine energy of creation and masculine energy of action, this is what you're going to do. You're going to journal that emotion that you want to transmute, and then you're going to find the opposite emotion, right? Just like in the strategy. Now, under the opposite emotion that you are now alchemizing into, you are going to list down right underneath it 3 actions. 3 actions that you can do that match that new state. And then I want you to set the intention and make it a priority to do those 3 actions within 3 days. Heck, do it within before the day even ends. Now, next little exercise we already kind of talked about too, but this is the creative transmutation, is pick one thing and you're going to set the intention that you are turning this emotion or whatever into that creative outlet. So journaling, painting, creating a video, recording a song, whatever it is. This could even be baking. This could be doing a little flower arrangement. Just pick something creative. Now, next practice, so important. I do this literally all the time. But you can include this in your affirmations, your morning affirmation and your nighttime affirmation. But I want you to set the intention and I want you to put out into the universe that any gossip, any negativity, any doubt, anything that is negative that comes my way will just transmute into positivity and me bettering myself and becoming my next level self and whatever it is you want. So for example, you can say any negativity, any gossip that comes my way just turns into more money in my bank account. And what I like to do is I like to literally charge an item, for example, my lip gloss that I will put on that day. And I will say that any envy, any jealousy, any evil eye of the day, transmuted. I like to also look in the mirror right in the morning and say that. You can just kind of spread the attention. You don't even have to do anything. You don't have to do a crazy ritual or spell or whatever. You literally just sit with yourself in meditation, sit with yourself and just say it. And that's that. That's it. Just believe it. You say it. That's what's going to happen. It's really as simple as that. It sounds a lot more complicated than it is, but it's really as simple as that. So anything coming my way that isn't love, isn't light, that isn't benefiting me will transmute into material success, abundance, prosperity, and healing, and beauty, and a glow up for me. Now, I want to also give you guys an example of kind of flipping the script or something. If you're, for example, scrolling on Instagram or whatever, and you see something and you're I feel jealous of her success. So instead of saying that, you had to become very mindful of your thoughts, first of all. That is very, very important. Be very mindful of your thoughts. But instead of thinking, oh, I feel so jealous of her success, you're gonna say, I feel inspired by her success because it shows me what is possible for me. You're gonna say out loud, you're gonna say, I am seeing her success because that is what I'm meant to be doing. I feel fired up by this fear because it means I'm stepping into my own growth. I want you to switch the script. And even when you have a thought like that, get your notes app on your phone and get your journal out that you have in your purse. This is what I do. And I'll write 3 ways to flip the script. And then I will just say that over and over in my head until it literally sticks with me. And then I find motivation from it. That's alchemy right there. You find motivation from it. You're oh my God, wait. I want that. Instead of being I'm okay, wait, I want that. You know what I mean? That is alchemy. It's literally as easy as that. Remember guys, you are not the sponge. You are the sculptor. You are the creator. Every emotion, every thought, every projection is just raw material in your own hands. It's just clay that you can transform into absolutely anything you want. And obviously, if you guys want to go deep into it and need a meditation for this transmutation, I made one for you, but really, you don't need it on the daily. You can be an alchemist of your life without any props, but I just made it for you guys, just so you can have a tool. And if you made it to the end of this video or into the end of this episode, if you're listening to me on the Gigi podcast, oh, by the way, I literally never said hi to you guys when I started the video, but hi, I love you so much. I am so happy you're here and I love speaking with you guys on the camera. And I am so proud of you and so grateful for you. And I believe in you so hard, and I want you to know that you are the alchemist of your life. If you watch this video, you love yourself. You love yourself. You wouldn't be watching this if you didn't. And now you have the tools to become the alchemist of your life. And if you made it to the end of this video, I want you to comment a 222 because that is the number of duality, of transformation, of polarity, of balance, of alignment. It's the number of taking raw potentials and bringing it into order and creation and knowing that this is here, you're in alignment. So comment a 222. I love you guys and let me know what topic you guys want me to talk about next. I will see you in the next one.